think another huge, huge, huge topic, which we haven't, I don't feel like we've really conquered. Do you know, I think there's a lot of discussion about it, but stress. We all kind of
Mm,
understand what stress is and
mm,
some causes of it. Yet it's so present in our lives. And as you say,
mm,
there's so much overwhelm. And obviously, we can only speak for our present moment that we are living through, which is a world of internet, online, social media, also like work, career as it always has been. And then
yeah.
suddenly, you know, women in their 20s and their 30s, they have all of these opportunities to do lots of things, or that more traditional role, which has always been there for women. And there's a lot
Mm,
of different elements that are kind of in your brain, a lot of overwhelm. Plus, there's just general stress of,
mm.
you know, what to eat, when to eat, how to save money, where to go on holiday,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
family getting ill, people dying, who to
Yeah.
marry, whatever it is, like all of these
Yeah.
normal things. But how would you kind of break down stress? Someone comes to you and they say, I'm really stressed. And I think this is, you know, causing a lot of my symptoms of pain. Or maybe you identify that in someone. I think your problem is stress. Where do you
Mm.
even start by unpacking that? Because that's such a huge
Um,
topic.
it is so hard. Again, a lot of the clients that I work with, they come in with pain in their body and they think it's because they're getting old or they haven't looked after themselves at a physical level. And now it's like, okay, my body's given up on me. But it's and then I start to learn a little bit more about them and I'm like, oh no, no, you have so much stress, so much expectation, so much pressure, and they fail to kind of connect that as to why their system is tight and in pain. How to address that is tough because the person has to be ready and willing to want to address that as well. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink. And it comes to like they actually have to change some of their lifestyle, like their habits, some of their beliefs. Like you have to kind of look in the mirror and go, oh, okay. Again, like ask like, who am I? Like, am I being my authentic self or have I lived my life as for others? Or have I lived disconnected? Am I actually putting myself first? Do I have respect for myself, for my body, or have I just disrespected this body and temple? Because and a lot of it comes, and it sounds so cringe, but like self love, you know, like we don't actually like know how to love ourselves. Love, what is love? Were we loved properly as a child? Were our needs met as a child from our parents? Like, were they able to give us the love we needed? Unfortunately, most of the time, no, and it's no one's fault. Like it's just, oh my gosh, I've gone so deep. But how to address stress? Back to your question, there's so many layers to it. And yes, we can make all these physical changes. You know, we can change our diet, we can change our sleep, we can look at the physical things that we're doing. But I believe a lot of pain is coming from that internal, that soul level, that internal place that the person has to be ready for and aware of. And it's quite confronting, you know, to look at that and be like, oh, actually, like I've held on to this resentment for years. A lot of chronic pain, tension in the nervous system, fight, flight, comes from the inability to surrender, to forgive, to let go. And again, this is what I love. Like we've been designed so amazingly. It comes back to breath. Because every exhale, it's this physical representation, this metaphor of surrender, like letting go. And if we do not breathe well, we're just like hyperventilating, like in the shallow state, right? We live our lives in this chronic hyperventilation. We're actually not tapping into that parasympathetic rest, digest. And that usually is a metaphor to like internally, like, do we have some bitterness? Do we have anger towards daddy issues, mommy issues? Like we all got them, right? It's like, has someone hurt us that we're still like about? Or have we hurt ourselves? Do we have regrets? Have we not forgiven ourselves? Um, that's that kind of stress at that soul level, that internal level, and people have to be willing to go there.
Mhm.
You can do all the right things physically, and then sometimes you're doing all that, and I was one of them, and you're still in pain. So then it's like, okay, like we gotta look in the mirror, we gotta look a little deeper now because physically I'm doing all the right things, but my body's still telling me something's not right here. I'm not at peace, I'm not at rest.